Well, good morning. This is Father Neil Pezzulo of the Glenmere Home Missionary speaking to you from St. Teresa Kolkata Catholic Church in Maynardville, Tennessee. We have a very interesting gospel today. Jesus really lays it on the line in such a way that really calls us to accountability. I really don't know whether we're living in the best of times or the worst of times. I suspect it depends on your point of view. Many of my good friends from other Christian traditions, ones we might call more fundamentalist, would argue that these are the worst of times. The whole world is going to hell in a handbasket, and there's not a darn thing we can do about it. The entire world is corrupt, almost even unredeemable in their worldview. I disagree. I think we're living in the best of times. We have great opportunities before us, and we're here, and we can celebrate. Now, as I look out my window, I see mountain ranges with the fading leaves and the fading colors. We're a little past our peak for the prime leaf peeping season. I see transformation and change going on all the time. The days are a little shorter, a little colder, a little wetter. And that trend is going to continue for a while. But this is an opportunity that we're given every November. And it comes at an opportune time as we celebrate the month of November. We're celebrating also the dearly departed, those who have gone before us. What we've done here in the church in Maynardville is we set up a little altar and we put photos and mementos of people that have gone before us, those that have taught us our faith, those that have influenced our lives, those that have helped us become the people we are today. And some of the people in the photos and some of the mementos I know, and I know quite well. Others I only know by the stories. I myself put a picture of my mom and dad up there. It's one of the few pictures I have. It was before they were married, they were engaged. So I look at the picture, I see two young people. Very young. Thin, good looking, well dressed, ready to go. But the thing about that picture that really strikes me is their smiles just kind of radiate back at you. A good friend of mine from the parish also has a picture of his parents on there. His parents are about the same age as my parents. In fact, the photos look strikingly similar. His parents are young, well-dressed, good-looking, almost the same kind of clothes as my parents. They share a lot more in common, too. His parents and my parents came up in a small town and knew each other essentially their whole lives before they started dating, let alone get married. They married about the same time, kind of had similar paths, parallel paths in life. But what's really amazing about it, what really brings us together, is that this happened in two separate countries with two different languages and two different cultures. But somehow when we tell our stories, we belong. The stories belong to us, and we belong to the stories. So as we celebrate this, there's a sadness that these people have gone before us, but it's not the end. It's absolutely not the end. It's the beginning of something new. Something glorious is happening. We have this opportunity to enter into this transformation that's happening. Not only spiritually, but physically as well. As I said earlier, the days are getting shorter, they're getting colder, and they're getting wetter. The bright colors of the leaves have faded. In about a week or so, they're going to simply fall off the tree. The entire landscape in East Tennessee will be changed. But this is not an opportunity to grieve. The beauty's gone because the new beauty's going to come. This is our opportunity to be transformed. To take a step back. To almost go dormant and prepare ourselves for the beauty and the transformation that's about to come. Not only in the world, but in our own hearts as we move into Advent and we move into this ability and have an open heart, an open mind to welcome the Christ child in a few short weeks. And even a few short weeks after that, spring will start again. Jesus gives this great example of the fig tree in the gospel today. It goes dormant, only to be transformed. And when the transformation starts, the buds come out, the leaves come out, and we know summer's near. That's a challenge. But it's more of an opportunity than anything. Are we going to allow ourselves to be transformed? Are we going to allow ourselves to step back together, all of us, and let the story take us over? Let us become part of the story. Let the story become part of us. We're living in the best of times. We're living in the worst of times. It all depends. But what's really important here is whether we think it's a good time or a bad time, that we have an open heart, an open mind, that we allow ourselves to be transformed like the fig tree, like the trees in the mountains here in Tennessee, like all of life. It transforms itself into something new. We're being called today to be patient. Be patient with the transformation. We belong to this transformation, and this transformation belongs to us. May the peace of Christ be with you today and always.